Hi, I'm Yuna Yoon from Korea. Please, hear my story. I'm a nurse, or should I say I was? Looking back now, the happiest memories and deepest wounds of my life all started in one place. The large hospital where I was newly assigned. It was a beautiful morning in March. I walked through the hospital entrance, my heart racing with excitement. Doctors in white coats rushing by, spotless corridors. The faint smell of disinfectant. Everything felt new. Everything felt like hope. Double tap to continue. Nurse Yoon, you'll be assigned to the internal medicine ward starting today. Welcome aboard. The head nurse's warm voice pulled me back to reality. I nodded nervously and headed to the ward. Before you continue, please hit subscribe and like, it really helps. That afternoon, I met him for the first time. Dr. Junho Han. Back then, he was just Dr. Han, a young, brilliant internal medicine specialist everyone talked about. Patient in bed 5, BP dropping fast. I called out urgently. From down the corridor, someone came running. His white coat flowing behind him. He reached the patient and assessed the situation with calm precision. Signs of shock. Add another IV line. Prepare vasopressors. His voice was steady but commanding. I moved quickly, following his orders. My hands trembled, but I knew a life was at stake. I gave it everything I had. Well done, Nurse Yoon. When the crisis passed and the patient's blood pressure stabilized, Dr. Han turned to me with a smile. That smile was so warm, I finally exhaled in relief. Thank you, doctor. I should be thanking you. We saved this patient because of you, Yuna. He called me by my first name so naturally. That kindness in his formal speech stayed with me. After that day, we worked together often. Whenever an emergency hit, Dr. Han was always the first to arrive. And I was always right there beside him, doing everything I could for our patients. One night, an elderly woman in the ICU suddenly lost consciousness. I hit the emergency button immediately. Dr. Han came running. Without a word, just looking into each other's eyes, we started CPR. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. The grandmother wasn't responding. My arms grew heavier, sweat dripping down my face. But I couldn't stop. Just a little more, Yuna. You can do this. His encouragement reached me. I gritted my teeth and kept compressing. And then, finally, her heart started beating again. She's back. I collapsed to the floor. My body was drained, but my heart was full of joy. Dr. Han placed his hand on my shoulder. Yuna, you're an incredible nurse. It's an honor to work with someone like you. That night, I realized something for the first time. With this person, I felt like I could overcome anything. We were becoming more than colleagues. We were partners who truly trusted each other. Walking hospital corridors together, discussing patients. Sharing coffee after shifts, wrapping up our days. Every moment was precious to me. His laugh. The way he studied charts so seriously. How gently he spoke to patients. Little by little, everything about him found a place in my heart. But back then, I didn't know. I didn't know that this warm beginning would become the prelude to a cruel fate. That a tragic event from 20 years ago had torn two families apart. And that when the truth came out, our love would face an unbearable trial. Looking back now, was it all destiny? Or was it a test we were meant to face? I still remember that warm spring sunshine. That moment I believed was a new beginning. The moment Dr. Han and I first worked together to save a life. That was the start. The beginning of love and the beginning of pain. Sometimes, love begins so quietly that you don't even notice it's already deeply rooted in your heart. Today, I want to tell you about how Dr. Han and I grew closer, and how we started to mean something more to each other. A month passed since I started working at the hospital. Spring turned into early summer, and the weather grew warmer. Dr. Han and I became inseparable partners at work. One day, an elderly man was admitted with severe pneumonia. His condition was critical, and we fought together to save him. Yuna, stay with me. We can do this. Dr. Han's voice was calm but firm. For 3 days and nights, we barely slept. Monitoring the patient, adjusting medications, checking vitals constantly. And finally, the grandfather opened his eyes. Doctor, nurse, thank you so much. His weak but grateful voice brought tears to my eyes. We did it, Yuna. Dr. Han smiled at me, exhaustion clear on his face. Yes, we did it together. That moment felt more precious than anything. After that incident, Dr. Han and I grew even closer. We'd have coffee together after shifts, sharing stories about our patients and our days. Yuna, how did you decide to become a nurse? He asked one evening over coffee. I wanted to help people. When I was young, my father was hospitalized, and I saw how much the nurses cared for him. That's when I knew. Your father must be proud of you. I smiled, but my heart ached a little. My father. The father I lost 20 years ago. But I couldn't tell him about that pain yet. What about you, Dr. Han? Why did you become a doctor? His expression darkened for a moment. My father passed away when I was young. I wanted to save lives like his should have been saved. We shared similar wounds. Both of us had lost our fathers. That common pain drew us closer together. One rainy evening, I was walking to the bus stop when I heard a voice behind me. Yuna, need a ride? It was Dr. Han, holding an umbrella. Oh, doctor. I'm fine, I can take the bus. It's pouring. Come on, I'll drive you. I hesitated, but the rain was really coming down hard. Well, if it's not too much trouble. In his car, soft music played. The rain drummed against the windows, creating a cozy atmosphere. Where do you live, Yuna? I told him my address, and he drove carefully through the rain. Thank you for today. You worked really hard. You too, doctor. You're always working so hard for the patients. You can call me Junho, you know. We're colleagues, after all. Junho? His name felt strange but warm on my lips. Yes, Yuna. Let's be more comfortable with each other. From that day on, our relationship changed subtly. At work, he was still Dr. Han, but when we were alone, he became Junho. One day, a young child was admitted with a high fever. The parents were frantic with worry. Doctor, please save our child. Junho examined the child carefully and diagnosed meningitis. We started treatment immediately. I stayed by the child's side all night, monitoring the fever. Junho checked in every hour, never leaving for long. Yuna, you should rest. I'll watch over him. I'm okay. I want to stay with him. You're really dedicated. Junho looked at me with warm eyes. By dawn, the child's fever finally broke. The parents cried with relief, thanking us over and over. Thank you, doctor, nurse. You saved our son. Watching the child smile weakly, I felt my heart swell. This is why I became a nurse. Yuna, let's get some coffee. You must be exhausted. Junho and I went to the hospital cafeteria. The morning sun streamed through the windows. You were amazing tonight, Yuna. You were too, Junho. We smiled at each other tiredly but happily. That's when I realized, this person meant something special to me. More than just a colleague or partner. One weekend, I ran into Junho at a bookstore. Yuna, what are you doing here? Just browsing. You too, Junho? Yeah, I come here to relax sometimes. We walked through the bookstore together, talking about our favorite books. I love mysteries. Really? Me too. Have you read this one? We discovered we had so much in common. Our taste in books, movies, even food. Yuna, want to grab lunch? There's a great place nearby. Sure, I'd love to. We went to a small Italian restaurant. Over pasta and wine, we talked and laughed for hours. This is nice. Just relaxing together. Yeah, it really is. That day felt like a real date. Though neither of us said it out loud, I think we both felt it. Back at the hospital, our colleagues started to notice. Yuna, are you and Dr. Han dating? A senior nurse asked with a knowing smile. What? No, we're just colleagues. Sure, but you two look really good together. I blushed, unable to deny the flutter in my heart. One evening, Junho asked me something unexpected. Yuna, do you have plans this Saturday? Not really, why? There's a medical conference I'm attending. Would you like to come with me? It's about patient care, might be interesting for you. I'd love to. That Saturday, we attended the conference together. Learning side by side, discussing new medical techniques. Afterwards, we walked along the river. Today was really educational. I'm glad you enjoyed it. You know, Yuna, working with you makes everything better. My heart raced. Junho, I feel the same way. He stopped walking and turned to face me. Yuna, I think I'm starting to feel something more than just professional respect for you. Before I could respond, his phone rang. Sorry, I have to take this. It's the hospital. The moment was broken, but his words stayed with me. He was starting to feel something for me. And I was definitely feeling something for him too. But I didn't know. I didn't know that this growing love would soon face its greatest challenge. That our family's past would come between us. That the happiness we were building would be shattered by a 20-year-old truth. Looking back, those were the most innocent, beautiful days. Before we knew about the tragedy that connected our families. Before we learned that our father's stories were intertwined in the most painful way. We were just two people falling in love. Not knowing that fate had already written a different story for us. This was how our love began. Pure, innocent, and full of hope. If only we had known what was coming, would we have held on tighter? Or would we have run away before the pain could reach us? I still don't know the answer. The past we try to forget never truly disappears. It waits, hidden in the shadows, until the moment it resurfaces. That day started like any other ordinary day. I never imagined it would be the beginning of everything falling apart. It was a late afternoon in June. Junho and I were reviewing patient charts in the doctor's office. Yuna, want to grab dinner after work? Sure, sounds good. We smiled at each other naturally, the way we always did. Just then, my phone rang. It was my mother. Mom? What's up? Yuna, can you come home this weekend? There's something I need to talk to you about. Her voice sounded heavy, unusual. Is something wrong? Just come home. We'll talk then. After hanging up, I felt uneasy. Everything okay, Yuna? Yeah, just my mom asking me to come home this weekend. That's nice. Family time is important. I nodded, but the worry wouldn't leave me. That Saturday, I went home. My mother was waiting with a serious expression. Mom, what's going on? You're scaring me. Sit down, Yuna. There's something you need to know. I sat across from her, my heart pounding. You know your father passed away 20 years ago. Yes, of course. My father. I barely remembered him. I was only 5 when he died. There's something I never told you about how he died. My mother's eyes filled with tears. Your father didn't just pass away. He was accused of embezzlement at the hospital where he worked. The stress and shame, it killed him. What? Dad was accused of embezzlement? Yes. But Yuna, your father was innocent. He was framed. Tears streamed down my mother's face. The real culprit was never caught. And our family, we lived in shame for 20 years. I couldn't speak. My father, innocent but accused. Our family, carrying that burden all this time. Why didn't you tell me before? I wanted to protect you. I didn't want you to carry that pain. I hugged my mother as she cried. That night, I couldn't sleep. My father's face, barely remembered, kept appearing in my mind. An innocent man, destroyed by false accusations. Monday came, and I returned to the hospital. But everything felt different. The hospital where my father had worked, where he'd been falsely accused. Yuna, you okay? You seem distracted. Junho looked at me with concern. I'm fine, just tired. I couldn't tell him. Not yet. A few days later, something happened that changed everything. I was organizing files in the records room when I found an old newspaper clipping. Hospital embezzlement scandal, 20 years ago. My hands trembled as I read. Administrative staff member Yoon Tae-sik accused of embezzling hospital funds. My father's name. I kept reading, and then I saw another name. Hospital board member Han Jinwoo dies of heart attack following the scandal. Han Jinwoo, Junho's father. My heart stopped. Junho's father had died because of the scandal involving my father. I dropped the newspaper, my legs giving out. No, this can't be. But the article was clear. Han Jinwoo, shocked by the betrayal of his colleague Yoon Tae-sik, suffered a heart attack and died. The two fathers knew each other. And the scandal that killed them both connected our families in tragedy. I stumbled out of the records room, barely breathing. Yuna? What's wrong? You look pale. A colleague caught me as I nearly fell. I'm okay. Just feeling a bit dizzy. But I wasn't okay. Nothing was okay. I went home early that day. I called my mother immediately. Mom, did Dad know someone named Han Jinwoo? There was silence on the other end. How do you know that name? Just tell me, Mom. Did he? Yes. They were colleagues. Close friends, actually. My worst fear was confirmed. Mom, what really happened 20 years ago? Yuna, I told you. Your father was innocent. But Han Jinwoo died because of the scandal. Did you know that? Yes, I knew. It was terrible. But your father was framed, Yuna. He didn't do it. I hung up, my mind spinning. For the next few days, I avoided Junho. I couldn't look at him without thinking about our fathers. Yuna, are you avoiding me? Did I do something wrong? He finally cornered me in the hallway. No, Junho. I'm just busy. You're lying. What's going on? I wanted to tell him. But I couldn't. Not yet. One evening, I was walking home when I heard a familiar voice. Yuna. It was Junho, running after me. We need to talk. You've been distant for days. Junho, I'm just tired. No, it's more than that. Please, tell me what's wrong. I looked into his eyes, those kind, concerned eyes. And I almost broke. But then I thought of our fathers. The scandal. The deaths. The pain. I can't, Junho. I'm sorry. I walked away, leaving him standing there confused and hurt. That night, I cried myself to sleep. How could fate be so cruel? To make me fall in love with the son of the man whose death was connected to my father? I didn't know the full truth yet. I didn't know who was really guilty, who was really innocent. But I knew one thing. Our families were connected by tragedy. And that tragedy might destroy the love we were building. Over the next week, I did research. I read every article one could find about the scandal. I talked to people who worked at the hospital back then. And slowly, a picture emerged. The embezzlement happened. Someone stole money from the hospital. My father was blamed. Junho's father, shocked and betrayed, died of a heart attack. But was my father really guilty? My mother said he was framed. But was that just a grieving widow's denial? I needed to know the truth. For my father. For myself. For Junho. One night, I went to my mother's storage room. I found boxes of my father's belongings. Documents, photos, personal items. And then I found something. A small tape recorder. With a tape inside labeled, "The Truth." My hands shook as I pressed play. If anyone finds this, I want you to know the truth. It was my father's voice. A voice I barely remembered. I didn't steal the money. I was framed. I know who did it, but I have no proof. I'm recording this because I'm afraid. Afraid of what they might do to me. Afraid of what will happen to my family. Tears streamed down my face as I listened. The real culprit is someone powerful. Someone who can destroy anyone who stands in their way. I tried to expose them, but they turned it around on me. Now everyone thinks I'm the criminal. The tape continued. To my wife, to my daughter, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry you have to live with this shame. But please know, I am innocent. The truth will come out someday. It has to. The tape ended. I sat there in the dark, holding the recorder. My father was innocent. He said so himself. But who framed him? And how was Junho's father involved? I knew what I had to do. I had to find the truth. Not just for my father, but for both our families. But first, I had to tell Junho. I had to tell him about our fathers, about the past that connected us. And I was terrified. Terrified of how he would react. Terrified that this would be the end of us. But the truth couldn't stay hidden forever. The shadows of the past were catching up to us. And soon, everything would come to light. Fate's cruelty strikes hardest at our happiest moments. After finding my father's recording, I didn't know what to do. Should I tell Junho about our fathers? Should I show him the tape? Or should I just walk away and pretend we never met? For days, I wrestled with these questions. My heart ached every time I saw him at the hospital. Yuna, please talk to me. What's wrong? Junho cornered me in the break room one afternoon. I'm fine, Junho. Really, you're not fine. You've been avoiding me for 2 weeks. Did I do something wrong? I looked into his worried eyes. He deserved to know the truth. But I was terrified. Junho, there's something I need to tell you. Before I could continue, his phone rang. Sorry, hold on. He answered the call. Yes, mother. Tonight? But I have plans. Okay, fine. I'll be there. He hung up and looked at me apologetically. My mother wants me home for dinner tonight. She says it's important. Can we talk tomorrow? Sure, tomorrow is fine. He left, and I sat there trembling. His mother, the woman whose husband died because of the scandal involving my father. What would she think if she knew who I was? That evening, I went home early. My mother was in the kitchen, cooking dinner. Mom, I need to tell you something. What is it, Yuna? I've been seeing someone, a doctor at the hospital. My mother smiled. That's wonderful, dear. What's his name? Han Junho. The spatula fell from her hand. Han Junho? As in Han Jinwoo's son? Yes, Mom. I didn't know at first, but I found out a few weeks ago. My mother sat down, her face pale. Yuna, you can't see him. His family, they blame your father for everything. But Dad was innocent. The recording proves it. It doesn't matter. They won't believe us. They've hated us for 20 years. Tears streamed down my mother's face. Mom, I love him. I know, sweetheart. But some things are not meant to be. I cried myself to sleep that night. The next day, Junho came to find me during lunch break. Yuna, about yesterday. I'm sorry I had to rush off. It's okay. Actually, my mother wants to meet you. My heart stopped. Meet me? Why? I told her about you. About us. She wants to have dinner with you this weekend. Junho, I don't think that's a good idea. Why not? Yuna, I'm serious about you. I want my mother to know you. I couldn't say no, not without explaining everything. Okay, I'll come. Great. Saturday at 7. I'll pick you up. He smiled and walked away. I stood there, frozen with fear. Saturday came too quickly. I dressed carefully, my hands shaking. My mother watched me with sad eyes. Are you sure about this, Yuna? I have to go, Mom. I have to face this. Then be strong, my daughter. No matter what happens. Junho picked me up at 6:30. You look beautiful, Yuna. Thank you. In the car, I tried to calm my racing heart. Junho, there's something I need to tell you before we get there. What is it? My father, he worked at a hospital 20 years ago. There was a scandal. Junho's expression changed. A scandal? Yes. He was accused of embezzlement. But he was innocent. He was framed. Yuna, why are you telling me this now? Because your father was involved in that scandal. The car swerved slightly as Junho gripped the steering wheel. What do you mean, my father was involved? They worked together. They were colleagues. Friends, even. Junho pulled over to the side of the road. Yuna, are you saying your father is Yoon Tae-sik? Yes. His face went white. The man who stole from the hospital? The man whose betrayal killed my father? He didn't steal anything. He was framed. How can you say that? Everyone knew what he did. Because I found evidence. My father left a recording. He explained everything. We stared at each other, both breathing heavily. Junho, please. Just listen to the recording. You'll understand. I can't believe this. All this time, you knew? I only found out a few weeks ago. I was trying to find the right time to tell you. The right time? There is no right time for this, Yuna. He started the car again. We're still going to dinner. My mother needs to know about this. The rest of the drive was silent. We arrived at a large house in an upscale neighborhood. Junho's mother was waiting at the door. She was elegant and composed, but her eyes were cold. Mother, this is Yuna. Yuna, this is my mother, Oh Myung-suk. Hello, Mrs. Oh, it's nice to meet you. I bowed politely. She didn't return the greeting warmly. Come in. We followed her inside. The house was beautiful but felt cold and unwelcoming. We sat down for dinner. The tension was suffocating. So, Yuna, tell me about yourself. What's your family name? Yoon, ma'am. Her chopsticks stopped mid-air. Yoon. And your father's name? My heart pounded. Yoon Tae-sik. The chopsticks fell, clattering on the plate. You're his daughter? Her voice was ice cold. Yes, ma'am. She stood up abruptly. Get out of my house. Mother, please. Junho tried to intervene. No, Junho. That man destroyed our family. He stole from the hospital, and the shame killed your father. And now his daughter dares to come into my home? Mrs. Oh, please listen. My father was innocent. He was framed. Innocent? Don't insult my intelligence, girl. Your father was a thief and a liar. Tears streamed down my face. He wasn't. I have proof. A recording where he explains everything. I don't want to hear it. Get out. Now. Mother, you need to calm down. Junho stood between us. Calm down? Your father died because of her family. How can you defend her? Because I love her. The room fell silent. You what? I love her, mother. And I believe her father was innocent. Then you're a fool. She turned to me with hatred in her eyes. You and your father brought nothing but pain to this family. I will never accept you. Never. I ran out of the house, sobbing. Junho followed me outside. Yuna, wait. I should never have come. This was a mistake. No, it wasn't. We'll figure this out. How, Junho? Your mother hates me. She hates my father. How can we ever be together? Because love is stronger than hate. He held my hands. I don't care what happened 20 years ago. I know you, Yuna. I know your heart. And I believe in you. But your mother will never accept me. Then we'll prove your father's innocence. Together. How? The recording. Let's start there. Let's find out who really framed your father. I looked up at him through my tears. You really believe me? Yes, I do. He pulled me into his arms. We'll get through this, Yuna. I promise. Behind us, I could see his mother watching from the window. Her face was filled with rage and pain. This was just the beginning. The battle for the truth was about to begin. And I didn't know if our love would survive it. But standing there in Junho's arms, I felt a glimmer of hope. Maybe, just maybe, we could overcome the past. Maybe we could find the truth and clear my father's name. Maybe love really was stronger than hate. Or maybe I was just a fool, clinging to an impossible dream. Only time would tell. When the truth is revealed, love faces its greatest test. After that terrible dinner, everything changed. Junho drove me home in silence. When we arrived, he turned to me. Yuna, I need to hear that recording. All of it. Now? Yes, now. I need to understand what really happened. We went inside. My mother was waiting, her face anxious. Mom, Junho wants to hear Dad's recording. She looked at him with tears in her eyes. Are you sure you're ready to hear this? I need to know the truth, Mrs. Yoon. We sat down in the living room. I pressed play on the tape recorder. My father's voice filled the room. If anyone finds this, I want you to know the truth. I didn't steal the money. I was framed. I know who did it, but I have no proof. Junho listened intently, his face pale. The real culprit is someone powerful. Someone who can destroy anyone who stands in their way. I tried to expose them, but they turned it around on me. The tape continued. I'm recording this because I'm afraid. Afraid of what they might do to me. Afraid of what will happen to my family. Han Jinwoo was my friend. My dear friend. He believed in me at first. But when the evidence against me piled up, even he started to doubt. I saw it in his eyes. The suspicion. The betrayal he felt. Junho's hands clenched into fists. I wanted to tell him the truth. I tried. But before I could gather the evidence, he collapsed. Heart attack, they said. But I know better. The stress, the shock, the feeling of betrayal, it killed him. A tear rolled down Junho's cheek. Jinwoo, my friend, I'm so sorry. I never meant for any of this to happen. If you can hear me somehow, please know, I was innocent. And I will find a way to prove it. The tape ended. The room was silent except for our breathing. That's my father's voice. He was telling the truth. My mother spoke quietly. I believe him, Junho said, his voice shaking. But who framed him? Who was powerful enough to do this? We don't know. Your father never got the chance to find out. My mother answered. Then we need to find out. For both our fathers. Junho stood up, determination in his eyes. Over the next few weeks, Junho and I investigated together. We went through old hospital records, financial documents, anything we could find from 20 years ago. It wasn't easy. The hospital had changed management several times. Many records were lost or destroyed. But we kept searching. One evening, we were in the hospital archives when Junho found something. Yuna, look at this. It was a financial report from 20 years ago. The embezzlement happened in March. But look at these signatures. What about them? This one here. It's been forged. See how the ink is slightly different? And the handwriting, it's close but not quite right. How can you tell? I've been looking at my father's signature for weeks. This isn't his real signature. My heart raced. Someone forged your father's signature? Yes. Which means someone wanted to make it look like he was involved in approving the embezzled funds. But why? To cover their tracks. If suspicion fell on the board members, no one would look at the real culprit. We kept digging. Days turned into weeks. We barely slept, spending every free moment searching for clues. Our colleagues noticed. You two look exhausted. Are you okay? A senior nurse asked me one day. We're fine. Just busy. Is it true that you and Dr. Han are together? Yes, it's true. I'm happy for you. You two make a good team. If only she knew what we were really working on. One night, Junho called me urgently. Yuna, I found something. Meet me at the hospital library. I rushed there immediately. Junho was surrounded by old newspapers and documents. Look at this article. It's about the embezzlement. I read it carefully. It mentions a whistleblower, someone who reported the embezzlement. Yes, but the whistleblower's name is redacted. It just says, anonymous hospital staff member. Do you think that was the real culprit? Reporting the crime they committed to deflect suspicion? Possibly. But there's more. Look at this. He showed me another document. This is a list of people who had access to the financial system at that time. Only 5 people had the authority to move large sums of money. Your father was one of them. Yes. And so was mine. But look at the others. 3 more names were on the list. Lee Soo-jin, Kim Byung-ho, and Oh Young-chul. My eyes widened. Oh Youngchul? Is that related to your mother? That's my uncle. My mother's younger brother. We stared at each other. Junho, you don't think. I don't know what to think. But we need to investigate this. The next day, we tried to find more information about Oh Youngchul. He left the hospital shortly after the scandal. Moved abroad, apparently. Junho found some old employment records. Where did he go? Singapore. But there's no record of him after that. It's like he disappeared. People don't just disappear unless they have something to hide. Or unless someone made them disappear. A chill ran down my spine. That evening, Junho decided to confront his mother. I need to ask her about my uncle. Are you sure? She's still angry about us. I know, but I need answers. I waited at a nearby cafe while he went to see his mother. An hour later, he returned, his face pale. What happened? She refused to talk about him. Got angry and told me to leave it alone. Why would she react like that? I don't know, but her reaction tells me we're onto something. We sat in silence, drinking our coffee. Junho, what if your uncle was involved? What if he was the one who framed our fathers? Then my mother might have known. Or suspected. And that's why she hates my family so much. Not just because she blames my father, but because she knows the truth and can't face it. Junho put his head in his hands. This is getting too complicated. But we're close. I can feel it. What do we do now? We find your uncle. We make him tell us the truth. But finding Oh Youngchul proved impossible. He had vanished completely. Weeks passed with no progress. The strain was affecting our relationship. Maybe we should give up, Yuna. We've been at this for 2 months with nothing to show for it. We can't give up. Not when we're so close. Close to what? We have theories but no proof. The proof is out there. We just have to find it. And what if we never find it? What if the truth died with our fathers? I looked at him, seeing the exhaustion and frustration in his eyes. Are you saying you want to give up on us too? No, that's not what I mean. Then what are you saying? I'm saying this is tearing us apart. We barely see each other except to investigate. We don't talk about anything else. We don't laugh anymore. He was right. Our love had been consumed by this search for truth. What do you want to do, Junho? I don't know. I love you, but I'm tired. Tired of fighting. Tired of digging up the past. My father's name is still tarnished. People still think he was a criminal. And my father is still dead. Nothing we do will bring him back. We stood there, the gap between us growing. Maybe we need some time apart. Junho said quietly. Time apart? Just to think. To figure out what we really want. I know what I want. I want the truth. And I want you. In that order? His words stung. That's not fair. Nothing about this is fair, Yuna. He turned to leave. Junho, please. I'll call you. But he didn't call. Days passed, then a week. I threw myself into work, trying not to think about him. But everywhere I looked in the hospital, I saw memories of us. The hallway where we first met. The cafeteria where we had coffee. The rooftop where he almost confessed his feelings. My heart ached constantly. One day, I saw him in the corridor. Junho. Yuna. We stood there awkwardly. How have you been? Busy. You? Same. The small talk felt like torture. Junho, I miss you. I miss you too. Then why are we doing this? Because I don't know how to be with you and let go of the past at the same time. We can do both. We can be together and find the truth. Can we? Or will this investigation destroy us? Before I could answer, his phone rang. I have to take this. He walked away, leaving me standing alone. That night, I cried myself to sleep. The cruel truth was this. We had found evidence of conspiracy and cover-up. But we had lost each other in the process. And I didn't know which truth hurt more. The truth about our fathers. Or the truth that our love might not be strong enough to survive it. I learned for the first time that loving someone could be the very reason you must let them go. 2 weeks had passed since that conversation in the corridor. Junho and I hadn't spoken. Every day at the hospital was torture. I'd see him from a distance, talking to patients, reviewing charts. He'd glance at me sometimes, our eyes meeting briefly before one of us looked away. The pain was unbearable. Yuna, you need to eat something. My mother placed a bowl of soup in front of me. I'm not hungry, Mom. You haven't eaten properly in days. This isn't healthy. I can't eat. Every time I try, I think of him. She sat down beside me, taking my hand. Maybe it's time to let go, sweetheart. Let go? You mean give up on finding the truth about Dad? I mean give up on a love that's hurting you this much. But I love him, Mom. I know you do. But sometimes love isn't enough. Her words echoed what Junho had been feeling. At work, my colleagues noticed the change. Yuna, are you okay? You've lost weight. A senior nurse asked with concern. I'm fine. Just been busy. Is it true that you and Dr. Han broke up? I couldn't answer. My throat tightened. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have asked. It's complicated. Love usually is. That afternoon, I received a text message from Junho. Can we meet? Tonight at 7. The cafe near the hospital. My heart raced. Was he going to end things officially? Or was there hope? I arrived at the cafe early, my hands shaking. Junho walked in at exactly 7. He looked tired, dark circles under his eyes. Hi. We ordered coffee and sat in uncomfortable silence. How have you been? He asked finally. Honestly? Not good. You? Same. More silence. Junho, why did you want to meet? He took a deep breath. I've been thinking a lot these past 2 weeks. About us. About everything. And I think we need to officially end this. The words hit me like a punch to the gut. End this? But I thought, Yuna, look at us. We're miserable. The investigation is going nowhere. My mother still hates you. Your mother is worried sick. We're not happy. But we could be. If we just keep trying. I'm tired of trying. I'm tired of fighting everyone and everything. Tears streamed down my face. So you're giving up? On us? On the truth? I'm not giving up on the truth. I'm giving up on the idea that we can have both the truth and each other. That doesn't make sense. It makes perfect sense. Every moment we spend together, we're reminded of the pain. Of what our fathers went through. Of what we've lost. He reached across the table, taking my hand. I love you, Yuna. I really do. But this love is destroying us. Love doesn't destroy. It heals. Not this love. This love is built on tragedy and pain. How can we ever be happy together with all this history between us? I pulled my hand away. So that's it? We just give up? We're not giving up. We're choosing to be kind to ourselves. To stop the pain. By causing more pain? Short-term pain for long-term peace. I stood up, unable to sit still. I can't believe you're doing this. Yuna, please sit down. No. If you want to end this, fine. But don't pretend it's for my own good. This is your choice. Your decision. It's the right decision. For who? For you? For your mother? For both of us. You don't get to decide what's right for me. My voice rose, and other customers looked over. I'm sorry, Yuna. Don't apologize. Just leave. Yuna. I said leave. He stood up slowly, his face full of pain. I'll always care about you. Remember that. Caring isn't enough, is it? You said love isn't enough. Well, caring is even less. He walked out of the cafe. I collapsed into my chair, sobbing. The barista brought me tissues. Are you okay, miss? No, I'm not okay. I stayed there for an hour, crying until there were no tears left. When I got home, my mother was waiting. It's over, Mom. He ended it. She held me as I cried again. I'm so sorry, baby. Why does everything have to be so hard? Why can't we just be happy? Life isn't fair, sweetheart. Especially not to people like us. People like us? People who've been hurt. People carrying pain from the past. The next few weeks were the darkest of my life. I went to work, did my job mechanically, and went home. I stopped investigating. I stopped caring about anything. One day, I was checking on a patient when I overheard two doctors talking. Did you hear? Dr. Han requested a transfer. My heart stopped. A transfer? Where? Seoul National University Hospital. He's leaving next month. He was leaving the hospital, leaving me. That evening, I found myself at the hospital rooftop. The place where Junho had almost confessed his feelings months ago. I stood at the edge, looking out at the city lights. Yuna? I turned around. It was Junho. What are you doing here? I could ask you the same thing. We stood there awkwardly. I heard you're transferring. Yes. I need a fresh start. Running away? No. Moving forward. Seems like the same thing to me. He walked closer. Yuna, I didn't want it to end like this. With so much anger between us. How did you want it to end? With smiles and best wishes? With understanding. With acceptance. I can't accept this. I can't accept that we're giving up. We're not giving up. We're letting go. There's a difference. Not to me. He sighed deeply. I came here tonight because this place is special. This is where I realized I loved you. Where I wanted to tell you but got scared. Why are you telling me this now? Because I want you to know that what we had was real. It mattered. You mattered. Past tense? Yes. Past tense. Because we can't keep living in the present with so much past weighing us down. I turned away, unable to look at him. When do you leave? 3 weeks. Will I see you before then? At work, probably. But I think it's better if we keep our distance. Better for who? For both of us. Seeing you every day and not being able to be with you, it's killing me. Then don't leave. Stay. Fight for us. I've been fighting for months, Yuna. I'm exhausted. He moved to leave, then stopped. I want you to know something. If circumstances were different, if our father's stories weren't tangled together, I would have married you. I would have spent my life with you. But they are tangled, and we can't change that. No, we can't. Goodbye, Junho. Goodbye, Yuna. He walked away. I stood there alone, watching the city lights blur through my tears. The next 3 weeks were agony. I saw him at the hospital, but we didn't speak. We passed each other in corridors, our eyes meeting briefly. Each glance was a dagger to my heart. On his last day, the hospital held a small farewell party. I didn't attend. I couldn't bear to see him leave. But that evening, I found an envelope on my desk. Inside was a letter. Dear Yuna, by the time you read this, I'll be gone. I want you to know that leaving you is the hardest thing I've ever done. Harder than losing my father. Harder than anything I've faced. But I believe it's the right thing. We deserve to be happy, Yuna. Both of us. And we can't be happy together, not with all this pain between us. I hope you find peace. I hope you find love again, someone who can give you the happiness I couldn't. I hope you remember the good times we had. The lives we saved together. The coffee breaks. The laughter. Don't remember just the pain. Remember the joy too. And if someday, the truth about our fathers comes out, I hope it brings you closure. As for me, I'll carry you in my heart forever. You were my first real love. And some part of me knows you'll be my last. Take care of yourself. With love, always. Junho. I read it 3 times, tears falling on the paper. That night, I took out my father's recording. I listened to it one more time. His voice, full of pain and determination. The truth will come out someday. It has to. I'm sorry, Dad. I tried. I really tried. I put the recording away. Maybe Junho was right. Maybe some truths were meant to stay buried. Maybe some loves were meant to end. I looked at my reflection in the mirror. A broken girl looked back at me. But somewhere inside, beneath all the pain, I made a decision. If I couldn't have love, I would have truth. I would find out what really happened 20 years ago. Not for Junho, not even for us, but for my father, for his memory, for justice. This wasn't over. The investigation would continue, but this time, I'd do it alone. And maybe, just maybe, when the truth finally came out, I could find peace. Even if I had to find it without the man I loved. The truth lies hidden in the most unexpected places. 3 months had passed since Junho left. The pain had dulled, but it never disappeared. It was always there, a constant ache in my chest. I threw myself into the investigation. Working alone this time. No one to share the burden with. No one to lean on. But I was determined. One Saturday morning, I went to visit my grandmother. She lived in a nursing home on the outskirts of the city. "Yuna, my dear, you look so thin." She hugged me tightly. "I'm okay, Grandma." "You're not okay. I can see it in your eyes." "Still thinking about that doctor?" My grandmother had always been perceptive. "Every day." "Then why did you let him go?" "I didn't let him go. He left." "Same thing." We sat in her room, drinking tea. "Grandma, can I ask you something about Dad?" Her expression changed. "What do you want to know?" "The scandal. What really happened?" She was quiet for a long moment. "Your father was a good man. Honest. Too honest, maybe." "What do you mean?" "He saw something at the hospital. Something wrong. And he couldn't keep quiet about it." "What did he see?" "I don't know the details. He never told me, but I know he was investigating someone." "Who?" "Someone powerful. Someone who could hurt him." This matched what the recording said. "Grandma, did Dad leave anything with you? Papers? Documents?" "Not that I know of." "Why?" "I'm trying to find evidence. To clear his name." She looked at me with sad eyes. "Still fighting that battle, are you?" "Someone has to." She got up slowly and walked to her closet. "Your father did leave something. Years ago, before he died. He gave me a box and said to keep it safe." My heart raced. "A box? Where is it?" "In the storage room downstairs." "I haven't opened it." "Didn't want to." We went down to the storage room. Among old furniture and boxes, she found a dusty cardboard box labeled Taesik. "This is it." I took the box with trembling hands. "Thank you, Grandma." "Yuna, be careful. Whatever's in there, it got your father killed." "I'll be careful." I took the box home and opened it carefully. Inside were files, documents, and another tape recorder. Different from the one I'd found before. I pressed play. My father's voice filled the room again. "This is my second recording. If you're hearing this, something has happened to me." I listened intently. "I've gathered evidence. Real evidence this time. Bank statements, transfer records, forged signatures." My pulse quickened. The person behind the embezzlement is Oh Youngchul. Board member. Respected. Trusted. Oh Youngchul. Junho's uncle. We'd been right. He's been stealing from the hospital for years. Millions of won. And when I discovered it, he framed me. He created false documents. Made it look like I was the one stealing. And he convinced everyone, even my friend Jinwoo. The pain in my father's voice was clear. Jinwoo believed him. Believed I was a thief. And that betrayal, that loss of trust from my closest friend, it broke something in him. I tried to explain. Tried to show him the truth. But Oh Youngchul was too clever. He had covered his tracks well. And then Jinwoo died. Heart attack, they said. But I know the truth. The shock, the stress, the feeling of betrayal killed him. My father's voice broke. "I'm sorry, Jinwoo. I'm so sorry. I should have been stronger. Should have found a way to prove my innocence. But Oh Youngchul is powerful. He has connections. He can destroy anyone. So I'm recording this as insurance. As proof. The evidence is in this box. Bank statements showing transfers to Oh Youngchul's accounts. Documents with his forged signatures. Everything. If anything happens to me, please use this to clear my name. And to bring him to justice. For Jinwoo. For my family. For everyone he's hurt. The recording ended. I sat there, stunned. The evidence was right here. In my hands. All along. I went through the documents. Bank statements from 20 years ago. Large sums transferred to an account under a false name. But the handwriting analysis showed it was Oh Youngchul's handwriting. Forged signatures. Altered documents. Everything my father had said was true. I had the proof. The proof to clear his name. The proof to expose Oh Youngchul. But there was a problem. Oh Youngchul had disappeared. And this evidence was 20 years old. Would it still be valid? Would anyone care? I needed help. But Junho was gone. Who could I turn to? Then I remembered. Kim Sang-ho. The former board member from 20 years ago. The one who had worked with both our fathers. I'd found his contact information during our investigation. I called him. Hello? Mr. Kim? This is Yuna Yoon Tae-sik's daughter. There was silence. Yuna? Is that really you? Yes, sir. I need your help. What kind of help? I found evidence. Evidence that proves my father was innocent. Another pause. Where did you find it? My grandmother had it. My father left it with her before he died. Can I see it? Yes. Can we meet? Tomorrow. I'll text you the address. The next day, I met Kim Sang-ho at a small cafe. He was older now, gray hair, tired eyes. But his face lit up when he saw the documents. This is it. This is the evidence we needed 20 years ago. He went through everything carefully. Oh Youngchul. I always suspected him, but I had no proof. Why didn't you speak up? Fear. He threatened my family. Said he'd destroy us if I said anything. But now? Now I'm old. My children are grown. I have nothing to lose. He looked at me with determination. Let's expose him. Let's clear your father's name. But he's disappeared. How do we find him? Leave that to me. I have connections. I'll find him. Over the next few weeks, Kim Sang-ho and I worked together. He used his contacts to track down Oh Youngchul. Turned out, he was living in Singapore under a different name. Living comfortably on the money he'd stolen. We found him. Kim Sang-ho said one evening. Now what? Now we go to the police. We present the evidence. We demand justice. But there was something I had to do first. I had to tell Junho. He deserved to know, even if we weren't together anymore. Even if it would hurt him. His uncle was a criminal. His mother had probably known or suspected. His father had died because of this. I called him. It rang several times before he answered. Yuna? His voice sent shivers through me. Junho, I need to talk to you. About what? I found the evidence. Proof of who framed our fathers. Silence. Who was it? Your uncle. Oh Youngchul. I heard him intake a sharp breath. Are you sure? Positive. I have bank records, forged documents, everything. And a recording from my father explaining it all. When did you find this? A month ago. I've been working with Kim Sang-ho to verify everything. Kim Sang-ho? The former board member? Yes. He's helping me. Another long silence. Junho, are you still there? I'm here. I'm just processing. I'm going to the police tomorrow. I wanted you to know first. Thank you for telling me. There's something else. What? Your mother. She might have known, or suspected. Kim Sang-ho thinks she protected your uncle. That would explain a lot. His voice was hollow. I'm sorry, Junho. I know this is hard. It's not your fault. You're just uncovering the truth. Will you come back? For the investigation? I don't know. I need time to think. I understand. Yuna? Yes? I'm glad you didn't give up. I'm glad you kept searching. I had to. For my father. He'd be proud of you. Tears streamed down my face. Thank you. Take care of yourself. You too. He hung up. I sat there, holding the phone. Part of me hoped he'd come back. Part of me knew he wouldn't. But at least now he knew the truth. The next day, Kim Sang-ho and I went to the police. We presented all the evidence. This is from 20 years ago. The detective said skeptically. Yes, but it's still valid. Embezzlement has no statute of limitations if the perpetrator fled the country. Kim Sang-ho argued. And you're saying Oh Young-chul is in Singapore? Yes. We have his address. The detective looked through all the documents. This is substantial evidence. We'll open an investigation. When? It'll take time. We need to coordinate with Singapore authorities. But we'll pursue this. Relief flooded through me. Finally, after months of searching, after losing Junho, after all the pain, the truth was coming out. That night, I stood in front of my father's photo. Dad, we did it. We found the proof. Your name will be cleared. I touched the photo gently. I wish you were here to see this. I wish you could meet Junho. I think you two would have liked each other. Tears fell. I lost him, Dad. I lost the man I love because of this investigation. But it was worth it. You're worth it. My phone buzzed. A text from Junho. I'm coming back, not for us, but to see this through. My father deserves justice too. My heart leapt. He was coming back, not for me, but he was coming back. And maybe, just maybe, when the truth finally came out, we could find our way back to each other. Or maybe not. Maybe some things, once broken, can never be fully repaired. But at least we'd have the truth. And sometimes, that has to be enough. After 20 years, the hidden truth finally comes to light. 2 weeks after going to the police, Junho returned to Seoul. We met at a cafe near the hospital. It was awkward at first. We hadn't seen each other in months. Thank you for coming, I said quietly. I had to. This involves my family too. His face looked tired, older somehow. How have you been? Busy. The new hospital is demanding. You? Same. Working, investigating, waiting. We sat in uncomfortable silence. Yuna, about what you found. My uncle. Are you absolutely certain? Positive. The evidence is undeniable. Bank records, forged documents, your father's real signature compared to the fake ones. He closed his eyes, processing. My mother. Does she know you're going public with this? No. Should I tell her? She needs to hear it from me first. That evening, Junho went to see his mother. I waited at home, anxious. 2 hours later, he called. It's done. I told her everything. How did she react? Denial at first. Then anger. Then she broke down. His voice was heavy with emotion. Did she know? About your uncle? She suspected. After my father died, my uncle suddenly had money. He paid off debts, moved abroad. She questioned it but never investigated. She chose to protect him. She chose to protect the family name. And in doing so, she let your father's memory be destroyed. What did she say about me? About us? There was a long pause. She said she was wrong. About you, about your father. She wants to apologize. My heart clenched. I don't know if I can forgive her. I'm not asking you to. Not yet. But she wants to try to make things right. The next week, the police completed their investigation. They coordinated with Singapore authorities and arrested Oh Young-chul. He was extradited back to Korea. The news exploded. Hospital embezzlement scandal solved after 20 years. Innocent man framed, real criminal caught. Oh Young-chul arrested for decades-old crime. My phone rang constantly. Reporters wanted interviews. The hospital wanted statements. Everyone wanted a piece of the story. Kim Sang-ho and I held a press conference. 20 years ago, Yoon Tae-sik was accused of embezzlement. He died with that shame, that false accusation haunting him. Kim Sang-ho spoke into the microphones. But today, we can finally say the truth. Yoon Tae-sik was innocent. He was framed by Oh Young-chul, a man he trusted, a colleague. Cameras flashed. Yoon Tae-sik was a hero. He discovered the embezzlement and tried to expose it. For that, he paid with his life and his reputation. I stepped forward, tears streaming down my face. My father was a good man. An honest man. For 20 years, my family lived in shame. But today, his name is cleared. Today, justice is served. The room erupted in questions. How did you find the evidence? What will happen to Oh Youngchul? How do you feel? I answered them all, my voice steady despite my tears. After the press conference, Oh Myung-suk approached me. She looked older, broken. Yuna, may I speak with you? I looked at Junho. He nodded encouragingly. Yes, Mrs. Oh. We moved to a quiet corner. I owe you an apology. A profound apology. Her voice shook. I blamed you and your father for 20 years. I hated you without knowing the truth. I was cruel to you when all you wanted was justice. You were grieving. You lost your husband. That's no excuse. I should have investigated, should have asked questions. Instead, I believed the lies and perpetuated them. She took my hands. Your father was innocent. My brother destroyed him, destroyed my husband, destroyed both our families. And I was too blind to see it. Mrs. Oh, please, let me finish. I don't expect your forgiveness. I don't deserve it, but I want you to know, I will do everything in my power to restore your father's honor. She pulled out an envelope. This is a formal apology letter. I'm publishing it in all major newspapers. Clearing your father's name publicly. Admitting my mistakes. I took the envelope, hands shaking. And there's something else, she continued. The hospital is establishing the Yoon Tae-sik Memorial Fund. For families affected by false accusations. Your father's legacy will be one of justice and truth. Tears fell freely now. Thank you. No, thank you. For not giving up. For fighting when everyone told you to stop. You're stronger than I ever was. She turned to leave, then stopped. And Yuna, about my son. He loves you. He never stopped loving you. Don't let my mistakes cost you your happiness. She walked away, leaving me stunned. That evening, the hospital held a memorial service for both my father and Junho's father. Two men who had been friends, torn apart by lies. Now, finally united in truth. The chapel was packed. Colleagues, patients, reporters, everyone came. Kim Sang-ho spoke first, telling stories of both men. Then I spoke. My father always said the truth matters. No matter how painful, no matter how difficult, the truth must come out. I looked at my father's photo on the altar. Dad, you were right. The truth did come out. It took 20 years, but it came out. Your name is cleared. Your honor is restored. And Dad, I met someone. Someone who helped me find the truth. Someone who believed in you, even when it hurt. Someone who loved me enough to let me go, and brave enough to come back. I looked at Junho in the audience. I hope you would have liked him. I think you would have been friends, just like you and his father were. After the service, people came up to offer condolences and congratulations. Former colleagues of my father, now elderly, tearfully told me how they always believed in his innocence. Patients my father had helped, grateful for this vindication. Young doctors inspired by the story. As the crowd thinned, Junho approached. That was a beautiful speech. Thank you for being here. Where else would I be? We walked to the hospital garden, to a bench overlooking the city. So much has changed, I said quietly. Everything has changed, but some things stayed the same. Like what? Like how I feel when I see you. He turned to me. How do you feel? Like I can breathe again. Like the world makes sense. Yuna, I know what you're going to say. That too much has happened. That we've hurt each other. That maybe it's better to leave the past in the past. That's not what I was going to say. It's not? I was going to say that I was wrong. Wrong to leave. Wrong to give up on us. My heart raced. These past months without you were hell. I threw myself into work, tried to move on. But I couldn't. Because every patient reminded me of cases we worked on together. Every coffee break reminded me of our conversations. Every sunset reminded me of you. Junho, when you called and told me about the evidence, about my uncle, I was angry. Hurt. Betrayed. But underneath all that, I felt something else. What? Pride. I was proud of you. Proud that you didn't give up. Proud that you fought for the truth even when it cost you everything. He took my hands. You're the strongest person I know. And I was a fool to walk away from you. You were protecting yourself. I understand that now, but I don't want to protect myself anymore. I want to be with you. I want to face whatever comes, together. Are you sure? Your mother, the scandal, everything. My mother is working on accepting it. The scandal will fade. But you're irreplaceable. He cupped my face. I love you, Yuna. I never stopped. And I don't want to spend another day without you. I love you too. He kissed me, softly at first, then deeper. All the pain, all the longing, all the love pouring into that kiss. When we finally pulled apart, we were both crying. So what now? I asked. Now we start over. Fresh. No more secrets, no more running. I'd like that. Me too. We sat there, holding each other, watching the sunset. 20 years of lies had been exposed. 2 families had been torn apart and were now healing. 2 fathers had been vindicated. And 2 people who loved each other had found their way back. It wasn't a perfect ending. There would still be challenges. Oh Myung-suk would need time to fully accept me. The media attention would be overwhelming. Oh Young-chul's trial would bring everything back up. But we would face it together. That night, I stood in front of my father's photo one more time. Dad, I did it. I cleared your name. And I found love. Real, honest, true love. I think you'd be happy for me. I think you and Mr. Han are somewhere, watching over us, finally at peace. Thank you for teaching me that the truth matters. Thank you for being brave. Thank you for being my father. I placed a hand on the photo. Rest well, Dad. Your fight is over. And I promise, I'll live the happy life you wanted for me. The next morning, I woke up to a text from Junho. Good morning. Coffee? I smiled. Always. This was our new beginning. Built on truth, strengthened by trials, blessed by love. And this time, nothing would tear us apart. When one truth is revealed, more hidden truths begin to surface. A week after the memorial service, life began to settle into a new normal. Junho and I were officially together again. At work, we were the talk of the hospital. Did you hear? Dr. Han and Nurse Yoon are back together. After everything they went through, they deserve happiness. People smiled at us in the corridors. Some even congratulated us. It felt surreal, being happy after so much pain. One afternoon, Junho came to find me during my break. Yuna, there's something strange. What is it? I was going through old hospital records for a patient case, and I found something odd. He showed me a file on his tablet. Look at these financial records from the embezzlement case. The amounts don't add up. I looked closely. What do you mean? My uncle stole money, yes. But the total amount he took doesn't match the total amount that went missing from the hospital. Maybe there was an accounting error? Or maybe he wasn't working alone. My heart sank. You think there were others involved? I think we need to investigate further. That evening, we met with Kim Sang-ho. More people involved? That's possible, he said thoughtfully. The embezzlement scheme was sophisticated. Too sophisticated for one person. But who else would have had access? Let me think. 20 years ago, there were 5 people with financial authority. Your uncle, Yuna's father, my father, and 2 others. Who were the others? Lee Soo-jin and Choi Suk-min. Choi Suk-min? Where have I heard that name? Junho frowned. He was the hospital chairman at the time. Very powerful man. Kim Sang-ho's expression darkened. Wait, the hospital chairman was involved? I asked, shocked. I always suspected it, but I had no proof. He died 10 years ago, so I thought the secret died with him. What if it didn't? What if there's more to uncover? We decided to dig deeper. Over the next few days, Junho and I investigated quietly. We couldn't let anyone at the hospital know what we were doing. If the chairman had been involved, others might still be protecting his legacy. One night, we were in the hospital archives when Junho found something. Yuna, look at this. It was a memo from 20 years ago. From Chairman Choi to the board members. It's about hospital expansion plans. What about it? Look at the budget. 50 billion won for the new wing. That's a lot of money. Yes. But according to construction records, the new wing only cost 30 billion won. 20 billion won difference? Exactly. Where did that money go? We looked at each other, the same thought occurring to both of us. It was never about the 10 billion won my uncle stole. Junho said slowly. It was about covering up a much bigger theft. The chairman stole 20 billion won? And when your father started investigating the finances, the chairman panicked. He needed a scapegoat, so he used my father and your uncle? My uncle was probably in on it. He got a cut of the money. But your father was innocent, caught in the middle. This changed everything. The next day, we presented our findings to Kim Sang-ho. I knew it, he said, slamming his fist on the table. I knew Choi Suk-min was dirty. But he was too powerful. No one could touch him. He's dead now, but we can still expose what he did. Will anyone care? It was 20 years ago, and he's gone. People will care, because his corruption destroyed innocent lives. My father's life. Kim Sang-ho nodded. You're right. We need to make this public. But before we could, something unexpected happened. I received a phone call from an unknown number. Miss Yoon? Yes? Who is this? My name is Park Jin-hee. I was Chairman Choi's secretary 20 years ago. My heart raced. Why are you calling me? I heard about your investigation. About what you've uncovered. How did you know? I still have friends at the hospital. Word travels. What do you want? I want to tell you the truth. The whole truth. Can we meet? We met at a small cafe the next day. Park Jin-hee was in her 60s, well-dressed, nervous. Thank you for meeting me. She said quietly. I've carried this secret for 20 years. It's time to let it out. Junho and I leaned forward. Chairman Choi was corrupt. He embezzled money for years, long before the scandal. How much? Over 50 billion won, total. He had accounts overseas, properties under false names. And my uncle? Junho asked. Your uncle discovered what the chairman was doing. Instead of reporting it, he blackmailed the chairman. Wanted a cut of the money. So they were partners? Yes. But then Yoon Tae-sik started investigating. He was smart, thorough. He was getting close to the truth. She looked at me with sympathy. The chairman panicked. He needed to stop your father. So he and Oh Young-chul set up the frame. Made it look like your father was the thief. But my father had evidence. He was going to expose them. I know. I helped him gather some of that evidence. You did? Yes. I gave him copies of financial records, memos. I couldn't stand by and watch injustice. Then why didn't you come forward when he was accused? Because the chairman threatened me. Said he'd destroy my family if I talked. I was a coward. I kept silent. Tears streamed down her face. And then your father died. And I've lived with that guilt ever since. Why come forward now? Because the chairman is dead. Because you've already exposed Oh Young-chul. And because I can't die with this secret. She pulled out a flash drive. Everything is here. Bank records, property deeds, correspondence between the chairman and your uncle. Everything. I took the flash drive with shaking hands. Thank you. I'm sorry I didn't help your father when he needed it. I'm sorry it took me 20 years. You're helping now. That's what matters. After she left, Junho and I looked at the flash drive. This is it. The final piece of the puzzle. Do we go public with this? We have to. The truth needs to come out. All of it. But there was a complication. Chairman Choi's son, Choi Min-ho, was now a prominent businessman. Exposing his father would destroy his reputation. What if he sues us for defamation? I worried. He can try, but we have proof. The truth is our defense. We contacted a lawyer, made sure everything was airtight. Then we called another press conference. The room was packed again. Reporters who had covered the first story were back. We're here today to reveal additional information about the hospital embezzlement scandal. Junho began. Our investigation has uncovered that Oh Youngchul was not acting alone. Cameras flashed. Former hospital chairman Choi Suk-min was the mastermind behind the embezzlement. He stole over 50 billion won over several years. Gasps filled the room. Oh Youngchul was his accomplice, not the primary culprit. And Yoon Tae-sik discovered this and was about to expose both men when he was framed. I stepped forward. My father died trying to bring these men to justice. Today, 20 years later, we finish what he started. We presented all the evidence. The bank records, the properties, the correspondence. Park Jin-hee's testimony was recorded and played for everyone. The story exploded even bigger than before. Hospital chairman's massive corruption exposed. 50 billion won embezzlement scheme uncovered. Hero nurse exposes father's killers. Choi Min-ho held his own press conference the next day. I had no knowledge of my father's crimes. I am shocked and ashamed. I apologize to all the victims and their families. He bowed deeply, cameras flashing. I will return all assets that can be traced to the embezzlement. And I will step down from my company positions. Public opinion was divided. Some felt sorry for him, an innocent son paying for his father's sins. Others said he should have known, should have investigated. But for me, it was enough. The truth was out. All of it. My father's name was completely cleared. Not just innocent of embezzlement, but a hero who fought corruption. That evening, the hospital held a special ceremony. They unveiled a plaque in honor of my father. Yoon Tae-sik, champion of justice, hero of integrity, in memory of a man who fought for truth, even at the cost of his own life. My mother stood beside me, crying. Your father would be so proud of you. We did it, Mom. We cleared his name completely. Oh Myung-suk was there too. She approached my mother hesitantly. Mrs. Yoon, may I speak with you? My mother stiffened but nodded. I owe you an apology. For 20 years, I blamed your husband. Hated him. I was wrong. He was a good man, and I'm sorry. My mother was silent for a moment. Thank you for saying that. It means more than you know. They didn't hug, didn't become instant friends, but it was a start. A beginning of healing. That night, Junho and I stood on the hospital rooftop. Our special place. We did it, he said, holding me close. We uncovered everything, every secret, every lie. My father can finally rest in peace. Both our fathers can. We looked out at the city lights. What now? I asked. Now we live, really live. No more investigating, no more digging up the past. Just us? Just us. He turned to me, getting down on one knee. Yuna, I know this might seem sudden, but I've been carrying this ring for months. My heart stopped. I bought it before we broke up. Never got the chance to give it to you. But now, with everything settled, with the truth finally out, I want to ask you properly. He opened a small box, revealing a beautiful ring. Yuna, will you marry me? Tears streamed down my face. Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes. He slipped the ring on my finger and stood, kissing me deeply. Around us, the city sparkled. Above us, stars shone. And somewhere, I felt my father smiling. His fight was over. His name was cleared. His daughter was happy. And that was all he'd ever wanted. True forgiveness begins with understanding and is completed through love. The morning after the proposal, I woke up with a smile. The ring on my finger sparkled in the sunlight. It wasn't a dream. Junho had proposed. We were getting married. I called my mother immediately. Mom, I have news. What is it, dear? Junho proposed. We're engaged. There was a moment of silence, then she burst into tears. Oh, Yuna, I'm so happy for you. Are you okay with this? I know his family and ours have a complicated history. That history is in the past. What matters now is that you love each other and you're happy. I am happy, Mom. Happier than I've been in years. Your father would be so proud. You found love and cleared his name. You did everything right. Later that day, Junho and I went to tell his mother. I was nervous. Despite her apology and recent changes, our relationship was still fragile. We arrived at her house together. Oh Myung-suk opened the door with a warm smile. Junho, Yuna, come in. We sat in her living room. Mother, we have something to tell you. Junho began. I proposed to Yuna last night. She said yes. Oh Myung-suk looked at me, then at her son. For a moment, I held my breath. Then she stood and came to hug me. Welcome to the family, Yuna. Officially this time. I hugged her back, tears forming. Thank you, Mother. I know I haven't been kind to you. I know I've caused you pain. But I want to make it right. I want to be a good mother-in-law. I appreciate that, and I want to help with the wedding. Let me do this, please. Junho squeezed my hand encouragingly. We'd be honored. Over the next few weeks, wedding preparations began. Oh Myung-suk threw herself into planning. She consulted with my mother on everything. The two women, once enemies, were slowly becoming friends. What do you think of this venue? Oh Myung-suk showed us photos. It's beautiful, I said. And this menu? My mother added suggestions. Maybe add some traditional dishes? Yuna's father loved them. Of course. We'll honor both families in this wedding. Watching them work together was surreal. One day, my mother and I went wedding dress shopping. Oh Myung-suk came with us. Try this one, Yuna. She held up a beautiful white gown. I went into the fitting room and put it on. When I came out, both women gasped. You look like a princess. My mother said, crying. Junho won't be able to take his eyes off you. Oh Myung-suk added. I wish Dad could see this. He can see it, sweetheart. I'm sure he's watching from heaven, so proud of his beautiful daughter. Oh Myung-suk took my hand. Your father was a good man, Yuna. I'm sorry I didn't see it sooner. But I see it now. And I see you. You're strong like him. Principled like him. Thank you. That means a lot. Meanwhile, Junho was dealing with his own preparations. He asked Kim Sang-ho to be his best man. Me? Are you sure? You helped us find the truth. You stood by us. Of course I'm sure. I'd be honored. The hospital also wanted to be involved. We'd like to host your wedding reception at the hospital. The director offered. At the hospital? In the new wing. The one built with recovered funds. It seems fitting. A celebration of truth and love in a place of healing. Junho and I looked at each other and smiled. We'd love that. As the wedding day approached, I had one more thing to do. I needed to visit my father's grave. One quiet afternoon, I went alone. I stood before his headstone. Dad, it's me. I have so much to tell you. I knelt down, touching the cold stone. I'm getting married, Dad. To Junho, Han Jinwoo's son. Can you believe it? I know it sounds crazy. Our families were torn apart by lies. But we found the truth. We cleared your name. And we fell in love. Tears fell freely. I wish you could walk me down the aisle. I wish you could meet him. You'd like him, Dad. He's kind, smart, dedicated. He reminds me of you in so many ways. He fights for what's right. He doesn't give up. He loves deeply. I wiped my tears. Mr. Han is gone too. But I think somehow, you two are together. Watching over us. Friends again, like you were meant to be. The wind rustled through the trees. I'm happy, Dad. For the first time in 20 years, I'm truly happy. And I know that's what you wanted for me. I placed fresh flowers on his grave. Thank you for being brave. Thank you for fighting for truth. Your sacrifice wasn't in vain. Because of you, justice was served. Because of you, I learned to never give up. I love you, Dad. Always. As I stood to leave, I felt a sense of peace. Like my father was giving his blessing. The day before the wedding, both families gathered for a rehearsal dinner. My mother, Oh Myung-suk, Junho, and I sat together. Kim Sang-ho was there too, along with close friends. Oh Myung-suk stood to make a speech. I want to say something. To everyone here, but especially to Mrs. Yoon and Yuna. She looked at us with tears in her eyes. 20 years ago, I lost my husband. In my grief and anger, I blamed the wrong person. I blamed Yoon Tae-sik, a good man who was trying to do the right thing. I let that anger poison me. I let it turn me into someone cruel and unjust. But these two women, Yuna and her mother, they never stopped fighting for truth. They never gave up, even when everyone was against them. They cleared Yoon Tae-sik's name. They exposed corruption. And in doing so, they gave me back something I thought I'd lost forever. Peace, understanding, and hope for the future. She raised her glass. To Yuna and Junho, may your marriage be built on truth, strengthened by love, and blessed with happiness. Everyone raised their glasses. To Yuna and Junho, my mother stood next. I want to thank Oh Myung-suk. It takes courage to admit you were wrong. It takes strength to change. You've shown both. And I want to thank my daughter. Yuna, you never stopped believing in your father. You fought when I was ready to give up. You're the bravest person I know. Tomorrow, you'll marry a wonderful man. And our two families, torn apart by tragedy, will finally be united by love. She raised her glass. To new beginnings. To new beginnings. Everyone echoed. That night, I couldn't sleep. Tomorrow was my wedding day. I thought about everything that had happened. The pain, the struggle, the truth revealed. The love found, lost, and found again. It had been a journey of 20 years. But tomorrow, it would all culminate in a new beginning. I looked at my engagement ring. Soon, there would be a wedding band next to it. I would be Mrs. Han. Yuna Han. It felt right. It felt like destiny. The next morning, I woke to my mother's gentle touch. Good morning, bride. Morning, Mom. Ready for the biggest day of your life? More than ready. We spent the morning getting ready. Hair, makeup, the dress. Oh Myung-suk came to help. You look absolutely stunning, she said, adjusting my veil. Thank you. For everything. For accepting me. For helping with all of this. You're my daughter now too. This is what mothers do. She placed a necklace around my neck. This was my mother's. I wore it at my wedding. Now you wear it at yours. I touched it gently. It's beautiful. Something old. For luck. My mother added her own gift. And this was your grandmother's bracelet. Your father gave it to me on our wedding day. I put it on, crying. Now I have both of you with me. And your father. He's here too. As we drove to the ceremony, I felt overwhelmed with emotion. This was it. The moment I'd been waiting for. The venue was decorated beautifully. White flowers everywhere. Soft music playing. Guests filling the seats. I stood at the entrance, bouquet in hand. My mother stood beside me, ready to walk me down the aisle. Scared? She asked. No. Excited. Good. Because here we go. The music changed. Everyone stood. The doors opened. And there, at the end of the aisle, stood Junho. He looked incredible in his tuxedo. His eyes locked on mine. And he smiled. That beautiful smile that I'd fallen in love with. My mother and I walked slowly down the aisle. With each step, my heart beat faster. This was real. This was happening. We reached the altar. My mother placed my hand in Junho's. Take care of her. I will. I promise. We stood together, facing each other. The officiant began the ceremony. But I barely heard the words. I was too focused on Junho. On the man I loved. The man who had fought beside me. The man who would be my husband. Do you, Han Junho, take Yoon Yuna to be your lawfully wedded wife? I do. His voice was clear and strong. Do you, Yoon Yuna, take Han Junho to be your lawfully wedded husband? I do. Then by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. Junho lifted my veil. I love you, Mrs. Han. I love you too. We kissed. The room erupted in applause. We were married. Finally, officially, completely married. As we walked back down the aisle together, I saw our mothers. Both crying happy tears. I saw Kim Sang-ho, smiling proudly. I saw colleagues, friends, everyone who had supported us. And in my heart, I felt my father's presence. His blessing. His love. At the reception, we danced. First together, just the two of us. How does it feel to be married? Junho asked. Perfect. Like everything finally makes sense. I feel the same way. Then I danced with my mother. I'm so proud of you, Yuna. I couldn't have done any of this without you, Mom. Yes, you could have. You're stronger than you know. Junho danced with his mother. I watched them, smiling. He said something that made her laugh. She hugged him tight. Later, Oh Myung-suk and my mother danced together. A symbolic moment. Two women who had been enemies, now family. As the night went on, people gave speeches. Kim Sang-ho told stories of our investigation. Colleagues shared funny hospital moments. Friends wished us well. When it was my turn to speak, I stood with Junho beside me. Thank you all for being here. This day means everything to us. 20 years ago, a terrible injustice happened. Two good men were destroyed by lies. But today, we celebrate truth. We celebrate justice. And we celebrate love. My father and Junho's father were friends. They fought for what was right. And though they're not here with us, their legacy lives on. This marriage isn't just about Junho and me. It's about healing. It's about two families coming together. It's about choosing love over hate, truth over lies. So thank you, Dad. Thank you, Mr. Han, for showing us the way. I raised my glass. To truth, to justice, and to love. To truth, to justice, and to love. Everyone echoed. As the party wound down, Junho and I snuck away to the hospital garden. To the memorial plaque for our fathers. We did it, Dad. I said softly. We got married. We're happy. And it's all because you taught me to fight for truth. Junho placed his hand on his father's name. I wish you could have seen this, Father. I wish you could have known Yuna. You would have loved her. We stood there together, honoring our fathers. Then we went back to the reception. To dance, to celebrate, to begin our new life. As husband and wife. As partners in every sense. Built on a foundation of truth. Strengthened by trials overcome. Blessed by love that refused to die. This was our happy ending. But more than that, it was our new beginning. Because the path we walked together was difficult, the future we'll share shines even brighter. 3 months after the wedding, life settled into a beautiful rhythm. Junho and I lived in a cozy apartment near the hospital. Every morning, we'd have coffee together before work. Every evening, we'd come home and share stories from our day. It was simple, domestic, and absolutely perfect. Mrs. Han, your coffee. Junho placed a cup in front of me. Thank you, Mr. Han. I smiled, still loving the sound of my married name. What's your schedule like today? 2 surgeries in the morning, consultations in the afternoon. You? The usual. Though we're getting a new patient in ICU today. Critical condition. Be careful. He kissed my forehead. Always. At work, we maintained professionalism. But everyone knew we were married. And they loved it. You two are couple goals. A young nurse said to me one day. What does that mean? It means everyone wants a relationship like yours. You went through so much and still made it work. We got lucky. No, you fought for each other. That's not luck. That's love. Her words stayed with me. One afternoon, I was checking on a patient when I received an urgent call. Code Blue, ICU. Code Blue, ICU. I ran immediately. It was the critical patient I'd mentioned to Junho. When I arrived, Junho was already there, performing CPR. Yuna, I need you. I jumped in without hesitation. We worked in perfect sync, just like always. Compressions, medications, defibrillator. Clear. The patient's heart started beating again. We got him, Junho said, breathing heavily. Good work, team. After the crisis, we met in the break room. That was close, I said. Too close. But we saved him. We make a good team. The best team. He pulled me into a hug. I'm so glad I get to do this with you. Save lives, come home together, build a life. Me too. That evening, we had dinner with both our mothers. It had become a weekly tradition. Every Thursday, the four of us would gather for a meal. How was work today, children? Oh, Myung-suk asked. Busy. We had a code blue. Junho explained. But everyone's okay now, I added. You two work so well together. My mother said proudly. Just like their fathers did. Oh, Myung-suk added. There was a moment of silence. Then my mother smiled. Yes. Just like them. It was beautiful, watching our mothers honor both men. The wounds were healing. After dinner, Oh Myung-suk pulled me aside. Yuna, there's something I want to give you. She handed me a small box. What's this? Open it. Inside was a beautiful jade bracelet. This belonged to my mother-in-law, Junho's grandmother. It's tradition to pass it to the eldest son's wife. This is too precious. Your family. You should have it. I hugged her. Thank you, mother. Thank you for making my son so happy. I see him smile every day now. He makes me happy too. A few weeks later, I started feeling unwell. Nauseous in the mornings. Tired all the time. At first, I thought it was just stress. But when it continued for a week, I decided to take a pregnancy test. I stared at the 2 lines. Positive. I was pregnant. Tears filled my eyes. We were going to have a baby. That evening, I planned a special dinner. When Junho came home, candles were lit, his favorite meal was ready. Wow, what's the occasion? Can't I just cook for my husband? You can, but you look nervous. What's going on? I handed him a small wrapped box. What's this? Open it. He unwrapped it carefully. Inside was a tiny pair of baby shoes. He stared at them, then at me. Yuna, are you saying? I'm pregnant. We're going to have a baby. His face transformed with joy. Really? We're having a baby? Yes. He picked me up and spun me around. We're having a baby. Then he set me down gently. Wait, should I not have done that? Are you okay? I laughed. I'm fine. It's still early. Only 6 weeks. 6 weeks. Our baby is 6 weeks old. He knelt down and spoke to my stomach. Hello, little one. I'm your dad. I can't wait to meet you. I cried happy tears. We called our mothers immediately. They were both ecstatic. I'm going to be a grandmother. My mother shouted. We're going to be grandmothers together. Oh Myung-suk added. The baby will have 2 grandmothers who love them so much. The next few months flew by. My belly grew. Junho became even more protective. Don't lift that. I'm just picking up a chart. Still. Let me do it. Junho, I'm pregnant, not fragile. You're carrying our baby. You're precious. His sweetness made me fall in love with him all over again. We decorated the nursery together. Soft yellow walls, white furniture, stuffed animals everywhere. Do you think it's a boy or girl? Junho asked while assembling the crib. I don't know. Do you have a preference? No. As long as they're healthy. Same. Though a girl would be nice. She'd look like you. Or a boy who looks like you. We'd be happy either way. Yes, we would. At 7 months, we found out the gender. It's a girl, the doctor announced. Junho squeezed my hand. A daughter. We're having a daughter. That night, we lay in bed, Junho's hand on my belly. What should we name her? I've been thinking about that. I said. What about Jinseo? Jin from your father's name, and Seo for honesty. Han Jinseo. It's perfect. Our daughter, Jinseo. The baby kicked. She likes it too. Junho laughed. As my due date approached, both mothers became more involved. They'd visit with baby clothes, advice, and excitement. Make sure you rest. Eat nutritious food. Don't stress. They fussed over me constantly. I appreciate the help, but I'm okay. I assured them. We know. We're just excited. My mother said. Our granddaughter is coming soon. One evening, I felt the first contractions. Junho, I think it's time. He jumped up immediately. Now? It's time now? Yes, the contractions are regular. Okay. Hospital bag. Where's the hospital bag? By the door. Junho, breathe. I'm breathing. Are you breathing? I laughed despite the pain. I'm breathing. We arrived at the hospital. The staff took over. Junho stayed by my side the entire time. You're doing great, Yuna. It hurts. I know. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Hours passed. The pain intensified. But Junho never left. He held my hand, wiped my forehead, encouraged me. Finally, after what felt like forever, I heard it. A baby's cry. Congratulations. It's a girl. The nurse placed her on my chest. She was tiny, red, perfect. Hello, Jinseo, I whispered. Hi, baby. I'm your mom. Junho was crying. She's beautiful. Just like you. She has your nose. She has your eyes. We couldn't stop staring at her. Our daughter. Our miracle. The nurses took her to clean and weigh her. 3.2 kilograms. 50 centimeters. Perfect health. They brought her back, and Junho held her for the first time. Hi, Jinseo. I'm your dad. I've been waiting to meet you. She opened her eyes, looking at him. She's looking at me. She knows her daddy. Our mothers arrived soon after. Where's my granddaughter? They rushed in together. When they saw Jinseo, both started crying. She's perfect. Absolutely beautiful. They took turns holding her. She looks like Yuna, my mother said. She has Junho's smile. Oh, Myungsuk countered. She's perfect because she's a combination of both. Watching them with our daughter, I felt complete. A few days later, we brought Jinseo home. The apartment felt different now. Fuller, warmer, more like a family. That first night, we barely slept. Jinseo would cry, we'd feed her, change her, soothe her. It was exhausting and wonderful. I had no idea babies needed so much. Junho said at 3 in the morning. Me neither. We looked at each other and laughed. But we're doing this together. Together. The next few weeks were a blur. Sleepless nights, endless feedings, learning to be parents. But every moment was worth it. One quiet afternoon, I held Jinseo while she slept. Junho sat beside us. Can you believe this is our life? He asked. Sometimes it feels like a dream. A year ago, we were investigating, fighting, trying to find the truth. And now we're here, married, parents, happy. Your father would be so proud. So would yours. We sat in comfortable silence. Junho, thank you. For what? For not giving up. For coming back. For loving me through everything. I should thank you. You fought for truth when everyone told you to stop. You cleared both our fathers' names. You gave me a family. We gave each other a family. Jinseo stirred, making a small sound. We both looked at her. She's going to grow up knowing her grandfathers were heroes. I said, she'll know their story, their sacrifice, their integrity, and she'll know that even in darkness, truth prevails. And that love conquers all. We kissed, our daughter between us. This was our family, built on truth, forged through trials, blessed with love. A few months later, on Jinseo's 100-day celebration, everyone gathered. Both mothers, Kim Sang-ho, colleagues, friends. A toast. Kim Sang-ho stood. To Jinseo, may she grow strong, kind, and brave like her parents. To Jinseo, everyone raised their glasses. Oh, Myungsuk spoke next. When I look at this child, I see hope. Hope that the past can be healed. That families can come together. That love is stronger than hate. This baby represents everything good that came from tragedy. She is proof that beauty can emerge from pain. My mother wiped tears. My husband would have loved to hold his granddaughter. But I believe he knows her. I believe both grandfathers are watching over her. Yes. Oh, Myung-suk agreed. Both men are here with us. In spirit. In the values we pass down. In the love we share. Later, Junho and I stepped outside with Jinseo. We looked up at the stars. Do you see those two bright stars? I pointed. I like to think those are our fathers. Watching over us. Together again. I think you're right. Junho held our daughter. Mr. Yoon, Mr. Han, this is your granddaughter. We named her with characters from both your names. She carries your legacy. Jinseo cooed, as if she understood. We'll tell her about you. About your courage, your friendship, your sacrifice. She'll grow up knowing she comes from heroes. The wind blew gently, warm and comforting, like a blessing. We went back inside, to our family, to our celebration, to our life. The journey had been long. 20 years of lies, pain, and struggle. But it led us here. To this moment, to this happiness, and that made every hardship worth it. We had found truth. We had found justice. We had found each other. And now, we had found peace. Complete, beautiful, blessed peace. This was our happy ending. And our beautiful beginning. Because we endured the darkest moments, the light we found shines even more brilliantly. 5 years had passed since Jinseo was born. She was now a bright, curious kindergartner who asked endless questions. Mommy, why is the sky blue? Because of the way light travels through the air, sweetheart. Oh, why does light travel? Junho laughed from the kitchen. She definitely inherited your curiosity, Yuna. And your stubbornness. I shot back with a smile. Life had settled into a beautiful routine. Junho had become the head of internal medicine at the hospital. I had been promoted to head nurse. We were respected, established, happy. But more importantly, we were a family. One Saturday morning, Jinseo came running into our bedroom. Mommy, Daddy, wake up. She jumped on the bed. It's Saturday, sweetie. We can sleep in. Junho groaned. But Grandma and Grandma are coming for breakfast. Oh no, I forgot. I sat up quickly. They'll be here in an hour. Both our mothers still came over regularly. They had become best friends. They'd go shopping together, have tea, share stories about Jinseo. It was beautiful to watch. An hour later, they arrived together. Where's my granddaughter? Oh, Myung-suk called out. Grandma. Jinseo ran to hug her. And Grandma. She hugged my mother too. You're getting so big, my mother said. I'm 5 now. That's very big indeed. Over breakfast, Jinseo suddenly asked a question. Mommy, why'd I have 2 grandmas but no grandpas? The table went quiet. We'd been preparing for this question. Your grandpas are in heaven, sweetheart. I said gently. Why are they in heaven? Because they were heroes. They fought for what was right, and now they're angels watching over you. Heroes? Like superheroes? Even better. They were real heroes. Junho added. Can you tell me about them? We looked at each other, then at our mothers. They nodded encouragingly. Your grandfather Yoon was my father. I began. He was brave and honest. He discovered something bad happening at a hospital and tried to stop it. What bad thing? Some people were stealing. And when your grandfather tried to expose them, they lied about him. That's not fair. No, it wasn't. But he never gave up on the truth. Junho continued. Your grandfather Han was my father. He worked at the same hospital. He and grandfather Yoon were best friends. Really? They were best friends? Yes. They worked together to help sick people. But then the bad people lied, and grandfather Han got very sick from the sadness. Oh, Myung-suk said softly. Both your grandfathers died. But many years later, your mommy and daddy found the truth. They proved the grandfathers were heroes. You found the truth? Like detectives? Jin Seo's eyes widened. Yes, like detectives. I smiled. And that's how we met. While searching for the truth. Wow, that's the best story ever. And you know what the best part is? Junho pulled Jin Seo onto his lap. What? You have your grandfather's names in your name. Jin from grandfather Han's name, and Seo means honesty, like grandfather Yoon. So I have both grandfathers with me? Always. In your name, in your heart, and watching from heaven. Jin Seo thought about this seriously. I want to be a hero like them. You already are, sweetheart. Both grandmothers were crying. She's perfect. My mother whispered, just like her parents. Oh, Myung-suk added. That afternoon, we took Jin Seo to the hospital. To the memorial plaque honoring both grandfathers. See? These are your grandfathers. I pointed to their names. Jin Seo traced the letters with her small fingers. Grandfather Han Jin-woo and grandfather Yoon Tae-sik. She read slowly. Champions of Justice. Can you read that? Junho asked, impressed. Teacher helped me practice. I wanted to read their names. My heart melted. She placed a small flower she'd brought. Hi, grandfathers. I'm Jin Seo. I'm 5. Mommy and Daddy told me you're heroes. I want to be a hero too when I grow up. Tears streamed down my face. Maybe I can be a doctor like Grandpa Han. Or help people like Grandpa Yoon. Or maybe both. You can be anything you want. Junho said, as long as you're kind and honest. Like the grandfathers. Exactly like them. As we walked back through the hospital, colleagues greeted us warmly. Dr. Han, Mrs. Han, and little Jin Seo. She's gotten so big. She looks just like both of you. Jin Seo waved at everyone. She loved the hospital. She'd often say she wanted to work there when she grew up. Just like mommy and daddy. That evening, after Jin Seo went to bed, Junho and I sat on the balcony. Can you believe it's been 5 years? I asked. 5 years since Jin Seo. Almost 6 years since we got married. And 10 years since we met. 10 years. It feels like yesterday and forever at the same time. We sat in comfortable silence. Yuna, do you ever think about how different our lives could have been? What do you mean? If we'd given up. If I'd stayed at the other hospital. If you'd stopped investigating. I think about it sometimes. We almost lost each other. But we didn't. We fought and we won. We did. He took my hand. I'm grateful every day. For you, for Jin Seo, for this life. Me too. We kissed, the city lights twinkling below us. A few months later, the hospital held a special ceremony. It was the 10th anniversary of exposing the embezzlement scandal. And the 5th anniversary of the Yoon Tae-sik Memorial Fund. The fund had helped over 500 patients. Families who couldn't afford treatment. Children with rare diseases. Elderly patients without insurance. The Yoon Tae-sik Memorial Fund represents the best of what healthcare should be. The hospital director spoke. Thanks to Nurse Han and Dr. Han's dedication, we've been able to help hundreds of families. Junho and I stood on stage, accepting recognition. This fund exists because of a man who fought for truth. I spoke into the microphone. My father, Yoon Tae-sik, believed that everyone deserved justice and care. This fund honors his memory by providing both. The audience applauded. After the ceremony, a young woman approached us. Mrs. Han? Dr. Han? Yes? I wanted to thank you. 10 years ago, I was one of the first patients helped by the fund. I had leukemia and my family couldn't afford treatment. I remember you, I said. You're Lee Min-ji. Yes. I'm healthy now. I'm in medical school because of you. Because your father's fund saved my life. She was crying. I want to be a doctor so I can help others like you helped me. I hugged her. Your father would be so proud. She said. He is proud. I know he is. That night, I told Jinseo about Minji. Your grandfather's funds saved a girl's life. And now she's going to be a doctor and save more lives. Wow, Grandpa's fund is like a superhero. Yes, it is. I definitely want to help people when I grow up. You will, sweetheart. You already make everyone around you happy. As I tucked her in, she asked one more question. Mommy, are you happy? Very happy. Why do you ask? Because sometimes when you talk about the grandfathers, you look sad. Those are happy tears, baby. I'm sad they're not here, but happy that they're part of our story. Oh, okay. She yawned. Mommy, do you think the grandfathers are proud of us? I know they are. Good. I want them to be proud. They are, Jinseo. So proud. She fell asleep with a smile. A few days later, Oh Myung-suk invited us for dinner. She had something important to discuss. When we arrived, she seemed nervous. Is everything okay, Mother? Junho asked. Yes. I just have something to show you. She brought out a box. I've been organizing old photos. And I found these. Inside were pictures of our fathers. Young, smiling, working together. These are from before the scandal. When they were friends. One photo showed them laughing together at a hospital event. Another showed them with colleagues, arms around each other. They looked so happy. I said. They were best friends. Like brothers. Oh Myung-suk smiled through tears. I wanted Jinseo to see these. To know that her grandfathers loved each other. Thank you, Mother. And I want to apologize again. For ever doubting your father. For the pain I caused. Mother, you've apologized many times. You've shown us through actions that you've changed. Still, I want you to know. Every day, I'm grateful for your forgiveness. And we're grateful for you. I took her hand. You've been an amazing grandmother. And a wonderful mother to me. You've made me a better person. We all hugged. Later, we showed Jinseo the photos. Look, sweetie. These are your grandfathers when they were young. They look happy. They were best friends. Like me and my best friend Minho? Exactly like that. She studied the photos carefully. I'm going to keep these in my room. So the grandfathers can watch over me. That's a beautiful idea. That Sunday, we took Jinseo to the cemetery. To visit my father's grave. Hi, Grandpa Yoon. She placed flowers on his gravestone. I'm doing good in school. I can read now. And I know all about you being a hero. Junho stood beside her. Mr. Yoon, thank you. For everything. For raising such an amazing daughter. For fighting for truth. For bringing our families together in the end. Dad, I hope you're proud. I said. Jinseo is everything you would have wanted in a granddaughter. Smart, kind, brave. The wind rustled through the trees. Gentle and warm. Like a hug. Did you feel that? Jinseo asked. Grandpa is hugging us. Yes, he is. As we left, Jinseo turned back one more time. Bye, Grandpa. I'll visit again soon. And I'll make you proud. I promise. In the car, she was quiet for a while. Then she said something profound. Mommy, I understand now. Understand what, sweetheart? Why you and Daddy are so happy. You found something that was lost. Like finding treasure. That's exactly right. And the treasure wasn't gold. It was the truth. You're very wise, Jinseo. I get it from the grandfathers. We all laughed. That night, after Jinseo was asleep, Junho and I looked through the old photos Oh Myung-suk had given us. Look at how young they were. Full of hope and idealism. Just like we were when we started. We're not that old, I protested. No, but we're different. We've been through fire and came out stronger. The shadows made us appreciate the light more. Exactly. He pulled me close. You know what I love most about our story? What? That it's not over. We're still writing it. Every day, every moment. With Jinseo adding her own chapters. And maybe someday, more children to add theirs. I looked at him. Are you saying you want another baby? Maybe. Would you? I'd love that. We kissed, dreaming of the future. A future built on the foundation our fathers laid. A future brightened by the truth we uncovered. A future blessed by the love we fought for. The shadows of the past no longer haunted us. They had become part of our story. A reminder of where we came from, of what we overcame, and of how much stronger we became because of it. The light we found wasn't despite the shadows. It was because of them. The darkness made the light shine brighter. The pain made the joy sweeter. The struggle made the victory more precious. And as I looked at my sleeping daughter, at my loving husband, at the life we'd built together, I knew one thing for certain. Every moment of darkness had been worth it. For this light, for this love, for this life, we had walked through shadows. But now we stood in brilliant light. And we would never take it for granted. As deep as the darkness was, the dawn we embrace is all the more beautiful. 2 years had passed since that conversation with Jinseo about her grandfathers. She was now 7, in 2nd grade, and even more curious about the world. And we had news. I was pregnant again. Really? Another baby? Jinseo jumped up and down when we told her. Yes, sweetheart, you're going to be a big sister. When? When will the baby come? In about 6 months. That's so long. Junho laughed. It'll go by fast, I promise. This pregnancy felt different from the first. More peaceful, more joyful. We weren't worried or stressed. We were simply grateful. Boy or girl? Oh, Myung-suk asked during our Thursday dinner. We don't know yet. We want it to be a surprise. Either way, they'll be loved. My mother added. By 2 grandmothers, 2 parents, and 1 very excited big sister. I'm going to teach the baby everything. Jinseo declared. How to read, how to play, how to be brave like the grandfathers. We all smiled. At the hospital, the news spread quickly. Congratulations, Drive. Han, Mrs. Han. Colleagues kept stopping us. Another little Han. How wonderful. Thank you. We're very excited. One afternoon, Kim Sang-ho came to visit. He was retired now but still kept in touch. I heard the good news. News travels fast. I laughed. I'm happy for you both. Your fathers would be so proud. They would be proud of you too. You helped us find the truth. We all did our part. He pulled out a small envelope. I wanted to give you this. For the new baby. Inside was a check and a letter. This is too much. It's for the baby's education fund. Your children deserve every opportunity. Thank you. This means so much. After he left, I read the letter. Dear Junho and Yuna, watching you build your family has been one of my greatest joys. Your fathers were my friends, and seeing their legacy continue through you and your children gives me hope. May your new baby be blessed with the same courage and integrity that defined both families. With love and respect, Kim Sang-ho. I cried reading it. He's a good man, Junho said. The best. As my belly grew, Jinseo loved talking to the baby. Hi, baby. I'm your big sister. I'm going to protect you and teach you everything. She'd put her ear to my stomach. I think the baby can hear me. I'm sure they can. One evening, she asked a thoughtful question. Mommy, will this baby have the grandfathers' names too? Would you like that? Yes. So they'll always be connected. Like our family. Junho and I looked at each other. That's a beautiful idea. If it was a boy, we'd name him Taejin. Tae from my father, Jun from Junho. If it was a girl, we'd name her Jiwoo. Ji for wisdom, Woo from Jinwoo. Either way, the grandfathers would be honored. The months passed peacefully. Work continued. Life continued. But there was a sense of completeness now. A sense that we'd finally reached the happy ending we'd fought for. One Saturday, we took Jinseo to the hospital memorial again. She brought a picture she'd drawn. 2 men standing together, holding hands, smiling. I drew the grandfathers. She explained. They're friends in heaven. She placed the drawing at the base of the plaque. Grandpa Yoon, Grandpa Han, I'm going to be a big sister. I'll teach the new baby about you. About being brave and honest. You're doing a wonderful job already. I told her. The grandfathers would be so proud of you. That afternoon, we walked through the hospital garden. So many memories here. First meetings, stolen glances, difficult conversations, happy moments. This hospital has been such a big part of our lives. Junho said. It's where we met, where we fell in love, where we work, where our children were born. It's home. Yes, it is. We sat on a bench, Jinseo playing nearby. Do you ever wonder what the grandfathers would think of all this? I asked. I think they'd be amazed. Two families that tragedy tried to tear apart, now stronger together than ever. Your father would be proud of you. The doctor you've become, the father you are, and your father would be so proud of you. For never giving up, for fighting for truth, for raising an incredible daughter. Daughters, soon to be two, or a son. True. We watched Jinseo chase butterflies. She's so much like you. Junho said. Curious, determined, kind. She has your stubbornness. That's perseverance. We laughed. A few months later, labor started. This time, we were calmer. It's time. I'll get the bag. Jinseo, stay with grandma. Good luck, mommy. I love you. At the hospital, everything went smoothly. The staff knew us well. Mrs. Han, you're doing great. After several hours, we heard the cry. It's a boy, a son. Junho's eyes filled with tears. We have a son. They placed him on my chest. Tiny, perfect, beautiful. Hello, Taejin. Welcome to the world. Junho held my hand. Taejin. Han Taejin. It's perfect. Soon after, our mothers arrived with Jinseo. Can I see my brother? Jinseo rushed in. Come here, sweetie. She looked at the baby in awe. He's so small. You were this small once. Really? Really? She gently touched his hand. Hi, Taejin. I'm your big sister. I'm going to take care of you. The baby's fingers wrapped around hers. He's holding my hand. Everyone cried happy tears. Both grandmothers took turns holding him. Another grandson. Oh, Myungsuk said. The family keeps growing. And it's beautiful. My mother added. 2 children. What a blessing. That night, after everyone left, it was just our family of 4. Junho, me, Jinseo sleeping in the chair, and baby Taejin in his bassinet. We did it, I whispered. We built this family. Against all odds. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it. Every struggle, every tear, every moment of doubt. It brought us here, to this perfect moment. Junho kissed my forehead. I love you, Yuna. Thank you for never giving up. On the truth. On us. On this life. I love you too. A week later, we brought Taejin home. Jinseo was the perfect big sister. She'd help with everything. Bringing diapers, singing to him, making him laugh. I'm the best big sister. She declared proudly. You absolutely are. 1 month after Taejin's birth, we held a small ceremony at home. Both families gathered. We stood before the photos of our fathers. Dad, Mr. Han, we want to introduce you to your grandson. I held up Taejin. This is Han Taejin, named for both of you. Tae from Yoon Taesik. Jun from Junho, which came from Han Jinwoo. He carries both your names, both your legacies. Junho added. We promised to raise him with the values you embodied. Courage, honesty, justice, love. Jinseo stood between us. And I promised to be a good big sister. To teach him about you. To make sure he knows he comes from heroes. We placed Taejin's photo next to the grandfather's photos. 3 generations. Connected by love, by sacrifice, by truth. Oh, Myungsuk spoke. Jinwoo, if you can see us, know that your legacy lives on. In Junho, in Jinseo, in Taejin. Your sacrifice was not in vain. My mother added. Taesik, my love, look at what we've built. Despite everything they tried to destroy, love prevailed. Truth prevailed. Our family prevailed. We all held hands. A moment of silence. A moment of gratitude. A moment of perfect peace. Later that evening, after the children were asleep, Junho and I stood on the balcony. The city lights twinkled below. Above us, stars shone brightly. Do you see those 2 stars? Junho pointed. The brightest ones? Yes. I like to think those are our fathers. Watching over us. Over Jinseo and Taejin. I think so too. We stood in silence, holding each other. You know what's amazing? I said. What? We've come full circle. From tragedy to triumph. From enemies to family. From darkness to light. It's been quite a journey. 25 years since the scandal. 10 years since we met. 7 years of marriage. 2 beautiful children. And a lifetime ahead. Yes, a lifetime. I turned to face him. Thank you, Junho, for coming back. For believing in the truth. For loving me even when it was hard. Thank you for being brave enough to search for truth. For forgiving my mother. For giving me this beautiful family. We kissed under the stars. Our father's stars. Watching over us. Blessing us. The next morning, I woke up early. Dawn was breaking. The sky painted in shades of pink and gold. I went to check on the children. Jinseo was sleeping peacefully, hugging her stuffed bear. Taejin was in his crib, making small baby sounds. I picked him up gently. Good morning, little one. I carried him to the window. See that? That's the sunrise. A new day. A new beginning. Your grandfather Yoon used to say that truth is like the dawn. It might take time to come, but it always arrives. And when it does, it brings light to everything. He was right. It took 20 years for his truth to come out. But when it did, it changed everything. Taejin looked at me with his big eyes. You're going to grow up in a world full of love. With parents who fought for truth. With a big sister who will protect you. With grandmothers who will spoil you. With the memory of grandfathers who will inspire you. And you'll know that even in the darkest times, there is always hope. Always light. Always love. Junho appeared in the doorway. Good morning. Morning. Did we wake you? No. I just wanted to see my family. He joined us at the window. Beautiful sunrise. The most beautiful. Jinseo woke up and came over. What are we looking at? The sunrise, sweetie. She stood on her tiptoes to see better. It's pretty. Do you know what your grandpa Yoon used to say about sunrises? What? He said that no matter how dark the night, the sun always rises. And each sunrise is a promise. A promise of hope, of new beginnings, of better days. That's nice. She thought for a moment. So the grandfathers are like the sun? Always there, even when we can't see them? That's exactly right. I like that. We stood together, all 4 of us, watching the dawn. A family built on the ruins of tragedy. Strengthened by trials. United by truth. Blessed by love. The darkness of 20 years ago felt like a distant memory now. The pain had transformed into wisdom. The struggle had transformed into strength. The loss had transformed into appreciation for what we had. We didn't forget the past. We honored it. We learned from it. We grew because of it. And now, standing in the light of a new day, with our children beside us, we made a promise. A promise to never take this peace for granted. A promise to pass down the values our fathers died defending. A promise to teach Jinseo and Taejin that truth matters, love conquers, and family is everything. A promise to live fully, love deeply, and honor the sacrifices that made this happiness possible. The sun continued to rise, painting the sky in brilliant colors. Dawn had come, not just for this day, but for our lives. After the long night of injustice, grief, and struggle, we had finally reached our dawn. And it was more beautiful than we could have ever imagined. This was our promise at dawn. To live in the light. To honor the past. To embrace the present. To hope for the future. Together. Always together.